Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the
Let's do this!
Anime Special. I will be your host, Co-Host 100. Let's remember some of the good times, and start things off with a specific question. Guys, what are some of your favorite anime movies, and why?
Akira is one of my favorite movies
Yes,
of all time.
it's still one of my favorite movies. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
even though I still don't know what the hell's going on, I still love watching it.
No, I've watched this movie for years. Don't know what the hell is happening.
I'm always like, every year maybe I'll get a little bit smarter and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, and you can. I mean, you'll be able to like piece it bit
Yeah.
by bit every year. Like, oh, I missed that piece.
Like maybe I should read that big ass comic book it's based on.
Yeah, exactly. No, when
Like,
you get
nah.
through, no, that's all right. Yeah, because it's based on a comic book series that's big. Because I remember reading the comic book series for a little while and thinking like, oh, this will help me figure it out. And I'm like, this ain't nothing like the movie.
Yeah.
And that shit went on and on. I mean, it's like they got huge books collected behind that. But no, Akira, directed by a guy Katsuhiro Otomo. I think he co-wrote it and he directed the movie.
Yeah.
A bunch of animation houses in Japan did it. That is actually one of the most influential movies coming from Japan. In fact, maybe that's why you can't understand. You got to be Japanese to understand this shit. They were out there, man.
You need some noodles.
Yeah. But that movie has had a big influence on animation here in America. Not just anime, but on animation, period, as an industry. It helped also usher in a new adult age of animation. And because Japanese have been all about
Like Legend of the Demon Womb.
What the hell is that?
Remember? You never seen those? I can't think of the actual title. It's like Yuka Tokashaka or something crazy like that.
That sounds like one of those movies where you got tentacles coming out.
That's
vaginas
exactly
and
what it is.
shit.
I think that series
I ain't into that
basically
shit,
invented that craziness. Where I saw one of those by accident. The Dolby Theater was like notorious for playing any kind of Japanime that was coming out, and I was like, "Oh, look, Japanime! I'm gonna go check it out." And then the first 5 minutes, you see demons with dicks coming out like snakes, raping and attacking women. And I'm like, "What the hell? What the hell am I watching?" And that's all it is, like one big rape scene. And I was like, "What's the plot? Just rape, demons raping the
all
world."
That kind of stuff I'm not into. Look, let me tell you something. A lot of people think I make fun of anime and I don't like it. I love anime. Anime is one of the biggest influences on me growing up. I mean, because when I was a kid, I was always like, why do people treat animation like it's just kid stuff? Because every now and then you'd find those movies about Ralph Bakshi or something, and everybody would say, oh,
Heavy
that's
metal.
Yeah, heavy metal. Yeah, one of my favorite things,
Yeah.
man. And people say, oh, that's kid stuff. I'm like, well, why you say that? Because it's a cartoon. It's like, I don't even like to use the term cartoon for that. It's an animated film, and people be like, whatever, man. And I was like, it's cool as shit if you just look at
Hogwash.
it. Yeah, hogwash and poppycock. These funny pictures you walking.
I don't stand for baloney.
But so the only place to get it where they actually, as an industry, treated animation as an adult art form was in Japan, and there was a lot of stuff over in Japan that I would watch, and Akira was one of those things that I was heavily looking forward to. But this animation as overall, though, today you say something like Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. That guy's name is I think it's Hayao Miyazaki. And I love his films.
Yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle is not one of my favorites.
It was okay. I saw it not too long ago, and I just thought it was all right. But no, Spirited Away is incredible.
Spirited Away
I
is
love
great.
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke. What was the movie that he did that had giant bugs and a girl who rode around on like some little
Giant bugs.
Like, yeah. It was,
I know there was one with a cat that was like a bus. Wow.
God damn it! What's the name of that? The one where the cat is like a bus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of other things. He did a lot of. I'm talking about adult stuff, but Hayao Miyazaki did a lot of things that were like great family entertainment. Kiki's Delivery Service.
There you go.
You remember that with the witch who had the delivery service who rode around? It sort of looked kind of like Europe and Italy.
Yeah.
And then there's Porco the guy with the pilot with the pig's head.
Yeah.
I know these movies sound crazy to people,
Yeah.
but you should anybody who's into animation, anime, anything, watch this guy's movies. He's a brilliant, visionary guy. Man, I really,
He's the equivalent to their Disney over there, I would believe.
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, he's kind of shying away from computer animated stuff. His next movie is going to be, he says, all done traditionally, pencil, paper, cells. Now, why anybody would want to do that shit today, I do not know. But
We'll wait and see what happens with that.
But yeah, no, the My Friend Totoro.
There you go. My Friend Totoro. That is right.
The cat that turns into a bus.
I thought that scene was just really cool. I mean, it's visually, I was like, wow, it's a short scene, but it really floored me watching that cat. Like it was a bus cat.
Yeah. No, that's just like his Alice in Wonderland in a way. In fact, I really believe that this director was influenced by Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah, you can't help. Yeah, the way the cat looks. I mean,
it's a Cheshire cat.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of his protagonists in the movie are little girls, little heroines, little heroin addicts.
Awesome.
They're like little girls. Like if you look at Kiki's Delivery Service, you look at Spirited Away, you look at something like My Friend Totoro, his children. I mean, all the imagery and going to another world that's kind of weird and almost absurdist.
Talking frogs.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, Spirited Away, another movie that makes no fucking sense to me at least. Yeah, but it
makes some
movie.
sense to me, but yeah,
it's a great movie.
It is a great. I love watching it.
And as a matter of fact, if you just want to watch these guys' movies visually, then I mean they're amazing to watch. There's so much shit going on right now.
I know there's some pretty amazing box sets that you can find of that guy's work. So go to those places where you find that kind of stuff, and pick them up.
But the Japanese, they do great things with science fiction. I mean, a lot of that stuff, giant robot stuff. It's kind of corny in a way.
Well, I love the Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell. I mean, I know those are older, but for some reason, like those older anime films still stick out to me the most because a lot of the stuff that's coming out now, there's so much of it, so oversaturated. I think that I'm sure there's some gems out there, but they just get lost in the shuffle because, I mean, I guess they don't theatrically release them here like they used to. I don't know if just because they think there's no real market for it. Or
think about things have changed. I mean, even when they released something like Akira, they had to do it strategically, like playing it at a lot of college campuses and art house theaters. Because
like the Dolby, like I said, that's like a college. Well, at one point, it was like the art house theater you go to and is located on campus. And that's where I saw a lot of those films. Yeah,
and that's what but today it's such a specialized audience, and there's so much money to be made on DVD.
Oh yeah.
So you don't see a lot of it released theatrically like you would back then. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why. I can see exactly why they would do that. But you mentioned Ghost in the Shell, which there was a TV series. I thought the movies were kind of boring, but they did a TV series for it, and the TV series has like a great budget to it. I can't understand. I've seen those shows like 10 times over. Like they cycle through, and
you still don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know what the fuck is happening, but it looks great. If I can recommend one animated people, if you like the Terminator, there was a cool version. I think the movie was called Black Magic M66. It had a robot that was a female robot built for the military, and you had this journalist who's going out looking at the story, and she has to try to stop this robot that broke loose. And it's kind of like what you wanted to see the Terminator do before they made Terminator 2, because this robot was doing all kind of badass things.
Wow.
And it was, I mean, you know, the Japanese, they had the robot doing martial arts and shooting out fucking bombs out of it when people try to stop it, poison gas. There's a scene where this girl's trapped in the elevator with this robot, and she has to have this device in the middle of them because she can't get out of the elevator, so they have to like scale the walls to get away from it. It's called Black Magic M66. It was one of my favorite movies when it came out back in the day. Watch it. I know I'm geeking out right now. The question was about anime, so
well, hey, I'll throw in one real quick. Wicked City. I don't know if that's out of print or if you can find that, but Wicked City,
that's fucked.
That movie is fucked up, but it's so awesome. I mean, think Men in Black, with the exception of they're going after creatures that are like the Thing. Instead of going after aliens, they're going after demons.
And they're like look like genitalia. Or something.
Yeah, I mean, you see these hot, they'll be like hot chicks luring a guy into a room only to find out that, her arms all of a sudden turn into spider legs, and her vagina all of a sudden has teeth, and like it's chomping away. It's the craziest thing, and it has like this perverted little old guy who's just looking to fuck with any opportunity he gets. He's like a little. He looks like it's like a perverted Yoda. And there's a really crazy scene where he's like going to town on this one chick, and all of a sudden he starts to realize that she starts to melt, and he starts melting inside her, and he's like inside her breast, and he's like suffocating, and her breast is like,
I remember that scene.
It's crazy, yeah.
That movie really it messed my mind, man. I was like, that's when I was like, I don't know if I can get into this kind of shit.
It is crazy, but it's awesome though. I mean, like I said, it's a hardcore version, I think, of like Men in Black.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, Wicked City. It's worth a watch.
It is. It's made by the guys who did Ninja Scroll. So,
and Ninja Scroll is another crazy ass movie.
Yeah, which I love. I love that film.
Which anime show would you like to see get a live action remake if they did it right? For me, it would be
Ninja Scroll.
Okay, that'd be good. I would like to see Full Metal Alchemist and what was the other? Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, and Lupin. There's a character called Lupin the Third. I would like to see them do a lot. Lupin the Third is not. See, what I like about Lupin the Third is that he's not some science fiction giant robot type shit and not some weird crazy tentacle anime porn.
Right.
Lupin the Third is a thief, and the guy Hayao Miyazaki who did Spirited Away. Actually animated one of the movies, and it was a great movie. It was called The Castle of Cagliostro. Look up this name, people. Castle of Cagliostro. It's a great film. It's almost like a screwball adventure film, and they might ruin it if they try to make a live action film. But I could see it being done in a very mainstream way. Even Spielberg at one time said, I've been influenced by this movie." Oh, and they made a video game out of it called Cliffhanger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just took scenes from that movie and I think a couple of TV shows,
right? Because
that character had a TV show, and then they made a video game like Dragon's Lair where when they cue you to move a certain direction, you do it.
I just thought of one anime that I love and worship, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so. What is that?
I'm going to give you, this thing is so super fucking hard to find. I think it was available, a bootleg DVD at one point, but I'll let you borrow the tape. I have an old tape that somebody gave me. It is incredible. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's like this group of guys that have all these special abilities, and they're trying to figure out clues to figure out this guy who's trying to destroy the city or whatever. I don't even know if I'm remembering. All I know is that these guys are put through certain quizzes and tests by these different opponents, and and they have to basically outwit their opponent. It's incredible. I don't do it justice by trying to explain. You have to see it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would love to see that turned into a film.
Really?
It's a kind of like, it's almost like an Indiana Jones with superpowers type adventure. Yeah. I'll let you borrow it sometime.
Yeah, let me see it, man.
It's
that sounds interesting. I've never seen it.
Oh, badass, yeah. Oh, by the way, though, remember Blood, the Last Vampire, I think?
Yeah.
They made that into a film recently.
Did they? Was it good? Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet. I think it's getting ready to be released, if it hasn't already, over in Japan, but I'm really interested about that. It's a short... I want to say it's done by the same guys that have worked on Ninja Scroll, but that short vampire, it's awesome if you haven't seen it. But
nice.
I'm gonna be real curious to see what they're gonna do with the movie or what they did with the movie. So,
all right, I heard Spielberg was trying to get off the ground a Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yeah, I heard that too,
and I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
I mean, really, there's a lot of people say there's a lot of anime that shouldn't be done, but I always said Ghost in the Shell would benefit greatly from having a live action counterpart.
Yeah. I mean, it's set in the future. I mean, it'll look gorgeous. There's just plenty of stories to pick from that. You can either go from the the mangas that they had out.
Oh, the mangas,
and the series that they have out too. So yeah, there's tons of stories to tell with that series.
Yeah,
so, just picking the right one and seeing how they do it. I mean, or they can just do a, take the original animated film and just turn that,
well, they have
into live action.
They have the two movies. They have Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. Then I forgot what the second one was called, but they had the second movie. Then they have the TV show Standalone Complex,
right?
And which I don't know what that means. And since you have a TV series based on this manga and this movie, there's a ton of stories that you could pick from, and they've had a lot of good episodes in there. Now, I've seen this show probably about 4 times over, and I still can't tell you what it's about. But I do know that there's a common theme in there about what is consciousness, what is life, right? At what point do you become human or retain your humanity when you've had so many robotic implements put on you? You've become a cyborg. I mean, there's a lot of themes that they could play with.
Yeah, if a robot is capable of having any kind of soul.
Yeah, a soul. Yeah, because that was one of the things they played with in the second movie. And then they had these they had a really creepy episode where these guys went into a dojo, not a dojo, but they went into whatever you call it, a Japanese hut,
a house.
Well, I don't know if it's a house. I wanted to say house, but I don't know if that's what it is.
Apartment,
a Japanese. But they went into not the house, but house. So they went in there, and I guess these guys were going in there to have sex with geisha girls,
right?
But the geisha girls were robots, but they were so realistic that it was good enough for them, and they were programmed to kill these guys when they went in. Yeah. So you had these geisha girls who their heads are turning backwards and they're just relentlessly chasing these guys down these hallways.
I think there was a scene like that in part 2. The chicks are
there is something like that. I don't think they were geishas, but they're females. So I think that there could be some really cool, scary, kick-ass action scenes.
Of course, it'd be rated X, but
well, on TV.
At least with how they did it in the second film, where like limbs are fucking falling off and blood's squirting everywhere.
Well, they can cut it back, but
of course,
No, I think another one that I'd like to see done, maybe, because I love the themes that they're playing with there, is Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, you keep talking about that show. I still haven't
Full
seen
Metal
it.
Alchemist could. I haven't seen as much anime as I used to watch.
Right.
So, but the little bit that I do watch, and I think they have a really cool concept that deviates away from what we usually see in at least American imported anime. Ghost in the Shell is one of them, and Full Metal Alchemist, because it deals with robots, but I love that. Okay, I hate to use this word, but I'm gonna use it because that's
don't say
it. Steampunk.
No,
I know.
Said it.
I know. It's set in that kind of steampunk kind of world where everything's villages and huts and cabins, but the technology is based on metal and steam and magic.
Right.
And the magic has a science to it. And I thought, that's a cool topic to explore for a film.
Yeah.
And I love the protagonist in the movie, which are these kids who are put in these real adult situations. And in fact, one of the youngest kid, he's destroyed his body because they were trying to bring their dead mother back. So his soul was transferred to a giant armor. So you got this giant armor with the mind of a little kid who's forced to grow up quickly.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this is pretty deep, man.
It sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah. Of course, it's Japanese. What you think? Do you have any?
I'll sound like a broken record here. I'll say Ninja Scroll, only because the visuals in the animated feature, I was like, wow, if they somehow translated that to live action, especially with that story, it could easily work. The villains in that, I mean, it's like watching supervillains try to get to this like almost this Juby character, this Clint Eastwood character, where he's just a complete badass, and he runs into this kind of pervert. Oh no, I'm not. I'm thinking about the wrong movie. But he runs into this like fucked up, old guy. There's just a lot of characters in there that could be really interesting for a live action. Then again, but it could be really weird, especially trying to translate that to live action, especially with the villains, because they're so out there.
Ninja Gaiden was pretty I mean, not Ninja Gaiden, but Ninja Assassin was pretty close to something like that.
Yeah, it was. But just the ridiculousness of the villains, which is what I love about Ninja Scroll. It's like playing a video game. You go to you meet up with all these bosses that have all these unique ways of killing people with their abilities, and I always thought that was just a really kind of kick-ass aspect to that film. But that and Wicked City. Now Wicked City was actually made into a live action film. I saw it once. It wasn't very good, but if they can somehow do that, that would be great. I love the idea of like almost like a Men in Black versus like demons instead of aliens.
Yeah.
I love that whole concept and that idea, and also the fact that these demons are like pretty fucking ruthless, and just they're another form of their abilities is like really fucked up. It's like the melting woman who manages to trick that old fucking pervert into sleeping with her, and he ends up like she traps him by her body starts to melt. Like he has his face like doing a motorboat on her tits, and then all of a sudden her tits start to wrap around his head.
Yeah,
and it's like and he's like her body's almost melting, but it's her way of like holding on to him, and and
I've had that happen.
Just some crazy shit. Yeah. Oh, that and the spider. The spider chick who has the vagina with teeth.
Yeah. There's I think the Japanese are scared of vaginas, man.
Know what?
Tentacles come out of vaginas. Teeth coming out of
their actual porn. They do. They manage to block that shit off.
I'm just waiting for them to make a movie one day about a killer vagina.
Yeah, they pixelate the vagina. So I don't know. Maybe they are terrified of it. I
don't know what happened to them in their vagina. A giant Godzilla vagina must attack Tokyo one day, and they fuck this.
Ninja Scroll and Wicked City. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. This is one of those questions I thought of more. We can go on all the day.
Whatever.
But
talk about all.
Yeah, people.